This episode of Vic's Basement is brought to you by EB Games. Support us by buying your video games at EB Games. Welcome to my basement, everybody. Hello, Marissa. Hello, Scott Jones.
I brought gifts for you guys today.
Oh, yes,
I found
fantastic.
those in the street,
That's awesome.
and,
Beautiful.
Some people would think, those are just garbage, but I saw them. And
I think they're garbage.
I thought one of them looked like Marissa, and one of them looked like Vic.
Oh,
Well, the one with the hat looked like you.
okay.
It's
Is this hat a little bit bigger? It is just
Yeah,
a
that's
little
like-
bit bigger. Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
those are acorns. You can use those. I know you both have big backyards. You're always working on. You're obsessed with your backyard.
Right.
Come over and look at my
Is that
backyard.
a euphemism?
No, I'm obsessed with my backyard too.
That was a euphemism.
But you know what?
right.
You plant that in your backyard.
Yeah.
You guys love your backyards.
Yeah.
And then, a tree will grow. 40 years from now, we can do the show underneath that tree. And I can't wait to do that show.
That's wonderful.
40 years from now.
I got a real gift today.
Mark your calendars.
Okay. I got a real gift from I got a real gift.
What's happening?
Guys, we got to turn that audio off of the. It's coming through the.
The zombie apocalypse is real. Get indoors with a fat person.
Man.
That's all right, guys. Just keep going.
All right. Okay. Everything good? I got a real gift today. I got a Sphero BB-8, which
Is that from Battlestar?
this. Oh.
I don't know.
That's like a cock punch right there. Is what you just gave.
That's right.
No, this is
Not the last cock punch of the day.
This is the new Star Wars droid, of course. I didn't have the Star Wars logo at the front. Sphero's been going crazy with this. All the tech bloggers are talking about it. It's our second toy table. Our first one aired this week. It was with the Batman Arkham Knight, and this is going to be the second one. You can control it with an app on your phone.
What is it called? BD-8?
BB-8.
BB-8.
Yeah, he'll learn all of these names, everybody. As long as the movie is good.
It's from Battlestar.
It's from Star Wars The Force Awakens.
I feel like he is R2-D2's little, mentally challenged brother.
This is the evolution of the droid, because this is 30 years after the Return of the Jedi.
Do you see R2-D2 and what he can do?
Yeah.
He can project Princess Leia as a hologram.
You can do that with this thing, which
I
is
bet
cool.
you can't.
No, you can, but it's a little AR thing on your phone.
He
But
looks
it's
like
pretty
you
cool.
could just roll him right into the garbage.
I rolled him right off the table when I shot the toy table, and that was terrifying.
Was he going right
Ah!
Was he going for the dumpster? Is that what he was saying?
No, come on. Don't be so mean and nasty.
care.
You don't care because you haven't seen the movie yet. Tell
Right,
you
and
what.
you haven't
when,
either.
when the movie, I've seen the trailer. That was enough.
Also,
I saw the trailer. I was like,
That was enough.
I want
gotta
that
buy
BB-8.
everything,
Yes.
Just like you were with episode
No,
1.
no.
Yes.
Just this. Just this.
Well, can we talk about the fact that
I coveted
movie
this.
coming out a day before, 2 days before in the UK?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
We have somebody in the room, Mr. Blake Siefkin, that's
Yeah.
going to see it 2 days early.
Oh,
And-
that he's going to London
Yeah,
specifically
he's going to
for
London.
that.
Yeah.
This is the real Star Wars toy, and I want to talk about this. This is
he's
Han
not a red
Solo
rocket.
at a stag party.
Oh, really?
No, it's not.
Yep, this is how he dresses when he goes to Chewbacca's stag party. He's like, Chewbacca, I'm here, so get my drink poured for me. Let's party. And then,
That was a pretty good Harrison Ford. Have you been working on Harrison Ford?
thanks, Vic. I love it when you compliment
That
me.
was pretty good.
Oh, this is a classic Star Wars character. This is Red Rocket. I think his name's Red Rocket. He was a great battler, and he flew over
just a
Great
son
Pit
of
of.
a bitch.
He
You know
flew
that?
over
You
Great
just-
Pit of Harkoon.
Just
The red rocket.
And this is the real one because this rocket will just go right off. Are you ready?
Scott, don't be so close to your microphone.
I get these lectures from everybody, from you and now from C.
I mean, I try.
I know you did. I appreciated it. But his red
that's
rocket.
Boba Fett, but it's
will fly
not
around.
the classic
Watch this.
hard
Can
to
you-
find,
can you
impossible Boba Fett
Yes,
with
it is.
the
Look at this.
rocket that shoots. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
This is
We
so
should
lifelike.
just let this go for like 60 minutes or so.
Well, that's
No.
this is the whole show today.
Okay.
No, let's not do that.
Look
All right,
out, garbage
so-
robot.
Are we going to start with our news, or are we going to start with the news that
news do you have?
we have great news?
Which one? What's
All
new?
right, this is something really cool. It's been in the works for a little while. The enthusiast gaming folks, they have a huge web presence and amassed an enormous audience out there. They're called Enthusiast Gaming. They've been putting on smaller types of events over the last few years to, have fun with video games with a lot of different people out there. They are putting on their first major expo, which I think is going to be, I don't know the total size, but it's in the International Center in Toronto. Yeah, or Mississauga to be more specific, but it can fit a lot of people. So this is a very big expo, and in fact, it's Canada's first big gaming-centric expo, which is about damn time because we know that probably PAX would invade our country at some point with something.
Is Mississauga far away from Toronto?
It's where the airport is, right?
Mississauga. Yeah,
Yes.
Mississauga is close to the airport.
Right.
Mississauga is the
Oh
woman.
my God.
She was the most beautiful woman in all of Canada. Mississauga 2016.
And that's why they named
is-
the
All right.
suburb after her.
Well, the expo was just announced, and that's happening in November 13th to 15th. But the cool news from our standpoint is that we are going to be there. All of us are going to be there from EPN. We are going to go. We didn't make it. Yep, you're going to go. We didn't go to any of the other events that happened this year, and we heard about people wanting us to attend a couple of these things out there. I've got low battery on my phone, but we are going to be there, and
This is a day. This is a day.
we are going to be there. And the cool thing is we are going to shoot the Rocket and Reagan Awards live there while we are there, and we hope everybody can come and be a part of it and chime in with their thoughts.
Should they dress up?
If they want to dress up, sure.
Cosplay?
They
Can you dress up as Marissa?
I don't know.
dress up as Marissa, yes, and then you can cheer
Make
and
sure
you
the
can tell us all
mustache is
kinds of
on.
great things.
Yeah. Just make
Real
sure.
good. Just side note, I have let this thing grow for the past.
It's really
I would
coming
say
in.
like 2 months. I haven't done anything about
Vic
it.
and I can't even look at the rest of your
I
face.
know because it is full on right now. So that's just a side note. Mustache break. I need to get this taken care of.
You went from our awesome news about EGLX to your mustache.
Well, you were busy. I
I was
to
busy.
continue.
Okay, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be there, and we hope everybody that has missed us this year at a couple of events, out east, comes and joins us. And
Nudity acceptable?
I don't think so.
it
No,
is
I think
legal
there
to
will be.
topless in Toronto. I
Right.
think that's legal.
What about mustache?
Mustaches for sure.
Mustaches are
definitely.
legal, yes.
So if you guys want to grow
They
your
are
mustache
legal.
with
And
me,
nudity
I will
and
join you.
mustaches.
So we can't wait.
Wait, it will be November, so it is Movember. So
Right.
mustaches will be full
There
on.
will
So
probably be plenty of mustaches on display.
this will come back full circle in like a month. Don't worry, I'll get rid of it now, but it'll come back.
Back in like 2 days.
Yeah,
What are
I
you
know.
talking about?
And we know we will be contending with one thing, and you've already brought this up, Scott.
What did I bring up?
Is the fact that we're going to be shooting this a little earlier than we normally do, so there will
Yeah.
probably be 1 or 2 games that we may.
Like 10 games.
I don't know, man. We usually
pretty big
shoot
chunk.
it. We usually shoot it like a week or 2 after
Yeah,
this.
but we're talking about we're deeper into like that's the last finish line. We're not even close to the finish line. at
well,
this point.
we will figure it out. And if
We
we
will.
have to say, we didn't get a chance to play these games, which could have been eligible, we will do that.
Yeah.
I know.
We'll talk about this one. I don't know if I want to do that.
It sucks.
We're
but
not going to
gonna
do the
it.
meeting here though.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We're not doing the
I
production,
like when we have
but
production meetings
No,
live.
not here.
we're not doing the production meeting.
Because I have strong feelings about this. I don't want to air them here.
Okay, that's fine. But I am really excited to see everyone, not only our team, but everybody in Toronto that we couldn't see. Normally we see them at Fan Expo, and I'm just happy that we get to have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Steve
And
Tilley, I
then-
wonder what he's like in real life.
I heard
Yes.
he's
We're gonna
pretty
find
cool.
out.
We get to
Also,
see him
that
and
this is-
Raju.
This is just strictly gaming. This is just a gaming.
Yeah, this is the big
expo.
If
deal.
you're not into gaming, don't come.
No,
Yeah.
but this is what I want out of. This is what I wanted out of Fan Expo. I wanted more gaming, and the fact that we're just going to be going and having like a total
it's
gaming
great. It's awesome.
extravaganza.
And
it's
the
exciting.
I talked to the CEO of Enthusiast Gaming, and their whole story is just phenomenal. I mean, it all started out of forums and just sort of fan discussions, and
That's how
now,
it all starts.
And now honestly, that's how EP started. And we kind of talked about that story as well. But it's really inspiring and cool and fun, and it's an honor to be guests of this event. And it's the
really
first big
excited
one
about it.
too, which is
you know
amazing.
we're gonna be doing
Congratulations.
panels?
Thank you.
Marissa, congratulations.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some panels. We're going to be on hand to meet with people. We'll have the EPN booth out there.
I'll
And
have a room at the hotel where I'll be pleasuring women individually or in groups. Well, it's
or
my
groups.
It's my usual
Scott
Toronto
thinks
visit.
he's a rock star.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
on this Twitch stream, so it's a pretty big deal.
He's a Twitch star.
For his group pleasuring session, Scott Jones is.
BFD, guys.
BFD, right there. Whatever that
Oh
means.
my gosh, no! It's just it's exciting. I don't think that you actually do that. I think you do like a room service thing.
You don't know.
He will
No, I
go
know.
from room to room. Room service. I'm here to pleasure you.
Would you like your mini bar restocked?
But the only thing is that Ben won't be joining us.
Yeah,
which is sad.
But I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. So if Ben is on the chat, we might get a Ben bot. Yes. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out with Mr. Silverman.
We want to not have you, Ben. We love you so
I'm
much.
sure we can make a Ben bar.
We got the stream working. We just couldn't get the audio and everything working.
He should Periscope in when we're doing a panel,
Yes.
and we'll give him his own microphone.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for sure.
Periscope is a thing.
But yeah, I am super stoked. And you know what? Sophia's going to be joining us out there for the first time, which is
awesome. We get to
fantastic.
see her in person.
She's on the show.
I haven't met her.
No, we haven't. Well, we've met her, but we haven't had her in a group
Not
kind of setting like that.
post-show.
You don't know me.
All right, let's
Um,
let's dig into some of the topics that Blake.
Apple.
Yeah, the Apple stuff I think is the big one. You have some thoughts?
Well, I think Apple's, they're hugely successful, and I feel like my opinion of Apple sort of waxes and wanes, kind of like an apple itself. You eat it after a while, and then it goes away. But I feel like this news is, what's happened is there's the huge chunk of incredible products that they make that appeal to a wide range of people. And then there's more specific kind of like channel slot kind of satisfying things that they do that are more for the nerds or the tech people.
Watches?
No, well, yeah, maybe a little bit. Like there are things that are just smaller that will connect with smaller groups of people. But, you always think that everything that's coming out from Apple is going to have kind of an iPhone moment, because that's an incredible device. And I don't even remember my life without that thing, for better or for worse. For sure, in a lot of ways it makes my life easier, in a lot of ways it makes my life more terrible, but it has changed things. And I think we want all of the Apple devices, all of the products that they make now, to come out and do the same thing. We want the same effect on our lives. And these things are all cool, for sure, and they appeal to different people, for sure, but they're not that kind of iPhone moment. I don't think, for me. And I know the Apple TV stuff is cool. I know that you can play games at home, and that's going to develop a little bit more, and we have to see how that plays out, how that just rolls out. We don't know yet.
Right.
But right now you can basically play games on your TV that you can play on your phone. And hopefully that will evolve, and hopefully that will be something more complex in the future. But right now, that's basically what we can do, as far as from what I understand.
Yeah, and you're right, Scott. And I think one of the things that makes the iPhone story so fascinating is that there was competition in the marketplace, but it wasn't so defined. Somebody's alarm is going off.
Is that your alarm?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll go check. I'll be right back.
I'll be right
Yeah,
here.
look.
I want you to
This is
continue that point. We'll put
Yeah,
a pin
no,
in
this
it.
is okay. Good. Oh my God.
It's all good.
Okay. Alarms going off.
This has been a day, man. It's been amazing. No, you're right about the Apple story, and I think there wasn't such a defined marketplace when the iPhone came out, so that it was a big disruptor, and it really kind of took a little bit of what Palm had been working on, and I think BlackBerry had some smartphone type stuff out there. It was more just business management type stuff, but they really, they really lifted the whole idea of portable computing to a totally different level. And that's not going to be true with Apple TV. There's incredible competition out there. There's the Roku boxes. There are the NVIDIA Shield. Our PlayStation 4s and Xboxes are very robust media centers. And Apple TV has a lot of competition. It's always been sort of a hobby for Apple anyways, and they've got to kind of get over that hump. But what they've shown with the tech is very impressive. They're also kind of masters at making a lot of this stuff very accessible and work very effortlessly. And I've been a big fan of the Apple TVs throughout their
Yeah, you
evolution.
bought me one.
Yeah, I think they're a great device. You know.
Pretty sweet device.
Yeah, I think they're a great device.
He gets me lots of nice gifts.
That's very
What does he
sweet
get
of
you?
He gets me stuff.
No, he doesn't.
I've got a spare acorn. Would you like my acorn?
Oh, okay, I'll have your acorn. That's
Well,
very sweet of
the
you.
thing that impresses me about this is it's trying to maybe shoehorn too many things, like trying to get us to pinch and sort of swipe.
Pinch and swipe.
Like we've been learning that
And
dialogue
press
forever on
hard.
the phone.
Now there's a lot of pressing hard.
Yes.
Press hard for
I don't wanna
pop-ups.
press hard on
You got to
there.
press hard for the pop-ups. But I mean, I like it because they're taking all the things that I find intriguing. Well, really, I had a Windows phone. I liked the Windows phone for a little while. I had it. I enjoyed it. But now they're just taking things that worked in the window, like with Windows and with Samsung, and I feel like they're just making it their own or adapting it to their
which is the
software.
which is the unique kind of position that Apple maybe has never been the company that has come out and come up with something that there was no other evidence of. They've always sort of adapted and commercialized good ideas into accessible and very well engineered ideas, which I think is a major problem with consumer electronics. I think that there are so many. I mean, case in point is getting our Twitch stream off the ground. Why haven't people
Derps.
made all of this much easier? Why hasn't it become so much simpler for things like this to just switch on and turn on? Why is there so much fiddling? And we're not the only outfit out there that has these things every week.
Yes, come at us with that.
All right. So, but Apple is very good at making things that seem maybe a little too kid-friendly, a little too child-proof, a little too safe, and
But then they do these updates on some of these apps, and you just don't understand why they did them. Like,
Yeah,
what
like
what is
iTunes,
the
yeah.
reasoning behind this? iTunes sucks.
The thing is like most of it all works, and most of it works pretty seamlessly. For sure, we all have little hiccups now, but the hardware has gotten more complicated, the software has gotten more complicated, and the hiccups are to be expected a little bit. And even Apple is human, and they make mistakes sometimes, and they're pretty quick in fixing those mistakes.
Well, they do a great job at it's not just marketing. It's the environment around their products. They make them very consumer friendly, just from the branding and the awareness and the most of the feature lists and all that stuff. And I think they had a very strong keynote where they talked about all of this stuff with a lot of different products. But I think you're right. We're all waiting for that iPhone.
I don't know when we're going to get it either.
I think-
don't even know if Tim Cook is going to be
I
able
think
to
it'll
deliver it. I don't know.
It'll be a car. I think once they
maybe,
finally,
I-
I mean, that's what they've earned all of this money for. I think that they've earned they've become the most successful company on earth to make a difference, and I think that will be the thing that, like the iPhone turned them into this superpower, right? So now they've got to use that power for something really revolutionary, and I think it will be vehicles and other forms of energy, renewable energy kind of ideas that will be really amazing.
I think they did have a lot of news, and for sure it was a lot to talk about this week, and a lot for us to digest.
But we also have to digest the price of these things, and I can't reconcile that. Like, I feel like it's just way too expensive.
What, the
Like,
Apple TV or the iPhone?
The
new
iPhone, the new iPhones.
Yeah.
Like, they're just so expensive.
How
do people have these
the weird thing is it's like I don't need a new iPhone, but I want a new iPhone.
No, me too.
And I don't know why. And I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how this happened to me. I feel like someone hits me over the head with an invisible hammer, and then I want that. But the other part of this too, and we don't really talk about it. I don't know. I don't know if it'll make you feel uncomfortable, but there's a lot of talk about Steve Jobs and his history and the incredible things he did. But I remember the first episode of Mr. Robot. There were a lot of terrible things he did as well, and very selfish things that he did.
That's kind of an interesting thing with that Mr. Robot, because that is a very strong message in that first episode, and now we can't get any of the other episodes. And
I know that's a different issue though. Yeah, I know.
First episode, it all comes back around.
But I don't know if that's just a Canadian licensing thing or what.
But it made me think. It's just like we just revere this guy as a saint, and he was kind of an asshole. He died way too young, for sure.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of suspect choices, and he hurt a lot of people, for sure. He made a lot of incredible things, though, at the same time.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of like a baseball player who, maybe beats women in his spare time, but he hits home runs at night,
Okay, well, we could use football players as that example because there's actually more football players that do those things.
Baseball players do a lot of bad things, too.
Yeah.
We don't need
Less-
to diss on the
less
baseball.
so.
Less-
Toronto
Maple
No,
Leafs.
this is hockey, though.
Okay, sorry.
This is hockey.
I'm a sports nerd.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the big news of the week, was the Apple stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I don't need to. I'm done talking about it. If you have more things to
Are
say.
you psyched about an iPad Pro?
No, I don't want
Oh my
that.
God, yes, because I love what they're doing with the two apps at once. That's exactly what I needed. I was so jealous that we didn't have a Surface.
Computers.
I know.
Oh, you want the Surface?
No,
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want Surface. I want the new iPad that has the same mechanics as
I've
the Surface.
been kind of envious of those Surfaces. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had them through the company to review and stuff, and they're really cool. You can play a lot of games on.
Once, and then you never used it again.
No, I
after
never
that.
bought a Surface.
I thought you bought a Surface.
No, I was hovering around that, thinking about a portable game platform, but I feel like they're powerful enough for right now, but in next year, not so powerful.
You know what? There's an important voice missing today,
Oh yeah.
and
hello, Blake.
I don't know where he is or why he's so quiet.
He's just-
Is
his
Blake
mic
here?
isn't working. His
Oh,
mic
his
isn't
mic's
working
not
very
working.
well. Let's not. Can we talk about the fact that I'm getting a little stressed out with all these games coming out, and we don't you and I are going to be away.
Uh-huh.
Okay, can we talk about all the games coming out on the 15th of this month?
What's coming out on the 15th?
Metal Gear Solid.
No, that's already out.
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, it's already.
And we
sorry.
reviewed it.
And we
it's
reviewed it.
very
It's out.
good.
Why do I have it on the 15th of my calendar?
I don't know.
Anyway, Destiny. No, that already came out too.
No, it's the Taken King.
The Taken
It's
King
the,
expansion.
DLC.
No, yeah, I know it's the DLC. Thank you, though. I played the original game. Anyway,
One is already reviewed.
and Stephen Raju are doing the Taken
Yeah,
King.
I know
Hey,
you're
is
hungry.
anybody doing? I am. Is anybody doing the Disgaea triple play collection? Because that would be a lot of gameplay.
Not
No,
assigned
Disgaea.
yet.
Oh my God, that
Not
is like way
assigned
too
yet.
much.
Assigned
I
now.
call no, I call not it because it's way too much. Forza reviewed.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to play these things. I'm saying for people out there. You guys are
I
coming
know,
at
this
me.
is the crazy time. I
Might
mean,
have
it's
been.
incredible.
It's crazy time.
God, God,
And the Sphero BB-8 is out too.
Also, this
Pro
is
Evo.
It's amazing. That's been out for 30
this
years.
is way bigger. Look how
Guys,
big it
Pro
is.
Evo. Are we gonna do a Pro Evo versus FIFA?
We're not.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe we will.
We
Whatever.
might,
It's
yeah.
I don't want it, but maybe, I don't know if they want it. But Vic probably wants to do it.
Vic,
so.
what are we gonna do? Skylanders Superchargers comes out
On the 15th?
on the 20th, and we're gonna be away. You're like the toy man.
I know. We'll just have to do it when we get back.
All right,
There will
so
just be some things that we just will not be
some
able to
things-
get
You're
to.
so worried.
But speaking of Skylanders,
am.
though, that's going to be on Apple TV. You know,
Skylanders is gonna be on Apple TV?
Some of the companies are taking this seriously as a new console. Disney Infinity is going to be there.
Let me tell you something. The
Guitar
only-
Hero is going to be there.
The big shift for me with the new iPhones was now these games are getting bigger, more expensive, more complicated,
Yeah.
and I'm more comfortable spending $5, $10, $15.
Yes.
And I wasn't before. I was comfortable spending 99 cents to $2.
Yeah.
But I feel like the proof, we have enough proof now.
Yeah.
That they are making games that are big. These are console games. These are AAA games that
Yeah.
you can play. And if the controls work, for sure I'm going to buy it for the phone. And it doesn't matter if it's $5 or $10 or $15 or $20. Like I would go as high as $20.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I know, right?
Holy smokes!
We did the Chaos Rings 3. It was $20, and that
I
was
feel
amazing.
like that's a big shift.
I
That's a
think-
big shift to change the psychology
Mm-hmm.
of somebody. Not me, not you, but me for sure. I know you're cheap.
No. I spent $20 on Fallout Shelter.
Oh,
It
yes.
happens.
Yeah, well, you can play it for free, but you have
Yeah.
to. You can buy
That
some of those.
Fallout Shelter. I did a panel this week, which was really kind of cool
Oh,
because
yeah,
it
that's
was with two console guys, Dave McCarthy and Peter Moore. So McCarthy's from Xbox and oversees a lot of stuff at Xbox, and Peter Moore is the COO of EA. We all know who Peter Moore is, and then a couple of guys, Barry Dorff from DNA, and I forgot the last guy's name, but he was from Gree, and it was really fascinating because they all had worked at EA at one point, which was pretty cool. They had that starting point kind of idea and concept, and they all came from console. They all came from AAA and huge development. We were learning a lot from the mobile space.
Yep.
And the mobile guys had just as much to contribute in.
Oh yeah, they're equals now.
Yeah, and it's amazing because so much is being learned from either discipline, and the metrics and the sort of metering on how we're consuming games is so important to these people, and so important to the business. It's such a people want to contain their audience in their experiences for as long as they possibly can. That's why we have all these free-to-play kind of things, but also all the DLC, but also rewards like crazy. Like I brought up the point that I'm playing Metal Gear 5, and you get daily rewards every day you log into that game. So it's.
But the thing is like I think there was the console side, and then there was the mobile side, and then the gap between the two has closed, and I feel like the console side got humbled pretty severely.
Yeah.
And the mobile side made a lot of money in a short period of time, and I think both sides there's more transference of ideas. There's more sharing now.
Well, like every big console game now has that reward when you come back to it. Like we're playing NHL and we can't review it now, but they do have that as well. If you come back, you get rewarded.
Yes.
So I mean, I like that because it gives me a reason to go back and keep playing these games, or else maybe I wouldn't have it so much.
Well, and also it's true, but also what's happening is that there's a lot of people starting, sharing that desire for audience and having the same concerns, whether they're in the console space or the mobile space or the indie space, and trying to get attention for these games and keep that conversation going about these games is incredibly important, no matter what level you're at right now. Yeah. And some have many more resources for social networking and social marketing and video and all that, all the other kinds of things to keep people engaged than others, and they're winning that audience that way. But yeah, I think that there is a sort of a humbling and a sharing more now. People are getting along a lot more now.
I think they have to. They all have to. Both sides have to. And I think whatever animosity they had, they just kind of buried at this point. But let's talk about Peter Moore for a second.
Yeah.
Who's always been. He seems like a very charismatic man. He stands up on the stage at E3s for years now. He used to do it for Microsoft, and now he does it for EA.
Used to do it for Sega, man.
Used to do it for Sega, and you see this guy in public, and then you see him in private, and he always has a lot of energy, and he's always very friendly.
Yeah.
I haven't had the same kind of relationship that you have with him. So what does he smell like? Does he smell good?
He is a very, very well put together guy.
Does he smell like bananas?
I didn't really know what he smelled
Stetson?
like. He smelled like success. He's a guy that understands a room and understands an audience and understands the business that he's been involved in. And this is a guy that came from shoes. He had a very high-profile career at Reebok before he started in games.
He came from shoes.
Yeah.
I just picture him in like an old shoe shop. Like, let me help you into those.
He actually told me an anecdote which I can't share about meeting Steve Jobs. Which
you tell us.
I wanted to tell you,
That's
but I can't.
behind
I can't
the
say
scenes.
it.
That's a new show we're starting.
No, I cannot, because he asked me not to. But I met him at his desk when he was president of Sega for the first time, and he was
leave my things alone.
Incredibly magnanimous and friendly and welcoming and receptive and understanding of what we wanted to do with Electric Playground. Gave us great interviews. Understood that there was a long road ahead to get more cultural awareness around video games.
Yes.
And I think that's been his shtick the whole time, is to kind of position games as a medium worthy of everyone's attention and respect, and it's part of the deals that he's cut with.
You never know with him though if he's going to stay at EA. You never know where his feet are.
You absolutely know that he is. I mean, the guy made the choice to put the Halo 2 launch thing on the real tattoo.
I know, but I'm saying, like, who knows what he's going to do going forward.
Right.
He was very committed to Microsoft.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't suddenly. And he had a tattoo of Halo 2 on his body.
Yeah.
So who knows? What means anything?
I think at those those executive levels at that rank, there is that desire to kind of, because what happens is you bring a brand of Peter Moore into your company and your stock is positively impacted, and there are major deals that are presented and crossed across people's desks like that make people make choices. I mean, look at the Matrick going over to Zynga deal, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yes, I think you're loyal and you're responsible to the business that you're in for as long as you can. Those are really, they're kind of crucible type positions, right? I mean, you can be very handsomely compensated, but you're also completely tacked up against the wall, and he was reading off some of the hate tweets that he was getting.
Oh, sure.
And it was 9/9. It was on September 9th, which is the Dreamcast day, right? So he was reading me a tweet, and this is the kind of crap that he's always getting about how the Dreamcast sucked and Xbox didn't go anywhere, and now
What's his tactic? Does he block people? What does he do?
He just reads it and he shakes his head. I think his thing
no
is.
one answers these people.
Yeah,
And you're trying to dig at me.
I think he just can't believe that there is that much hate around this stuff, because. Like, honestly, there's
It's
such
the internet, man. Just ignore it.
Yeah, but there's such a long road to go to get people to really care as much about this business as we really need.
Assholes have been part of life
True.
since the dawn of time.
True, but games shouldn't attract assholes
But listen,
because it's about fun, man. It's about escapism.
All right, listen, I get it. I hear what you're saying, but let's. Marissa also did a panel, and yeah.
You keep calling it a panel.
I don't know what it was.
wasn't a panel.
Can you please explain it and don't give me attitude?
Yeah, this was at the External Development Summit,
Christ.
which was interesting because it's all about companies and individuals and stuff
so
trying to get
external development summit.
Yeah, working on these big AAA things,
Is it
which
only
are
for
too
developers?
big. It was just professional people, yeah.
Yeah, so professional people meeting other professional people. So I helped with an event, a speed dating event, where I
Was it romantic?
It was very romantic. People sat across from one another. They had 3 minutes to pitch their ideas to a buyer.
Oh, so it wasn't actually dating.
It wasn't real dating, but I said if they wanted to get together, I mean, there's no judgment there. They're more than welcome to do that. They might meet their longtime lover right there, right in front of them.
So one uncomfortable dude in a sports coat talking to another uncomfortable dude in a sports coat. Might be forever lovers.
Yeah, I should have been there.
Yes, there were a lot of women there. I was actually really impressed by the amount of women that I saw
A lot of
at
lonely
this
women.
thing.
This
No,
is
not
Vancouver.
lonely women. What? No, these people.
There's more men here than there are women.
Okay, well.
Is that true?
Yeah, you
Or
should see
was
the
that your
line
survey?
outside my door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies.
No, there were a lot of women there, but they came from all over the world. This event attracts people from all over the world. So
Yep.
I met people from Brazil and from Malaysia, and just a lot of amazing
Can you
people.
share your opening remarks with us? Did you use any
Should I
jokes?
share my oh no, but
Hey, everybody.
Oh no, but I was telling you about what I was gonna do, and you're like, yeah, I have a joke for you. What was your joke?
I don't remember. What was it?
Hey, are there any out of towners here?
Did you try it?
No.
Why not?
I'm sorry, I didn't open with that joke. Everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Like, how's it going?
Were
Good
you proud
to
of,
be
you proud
here.
of the job that you did?
No,
Scott
what do
always
they
thinks
call-
he's talking to the Shriners.
I know.
Why not?
What do they call it? Homework. You're not working on your home.
That's good.
I
We
just-
got to
I
write
put
that
those
one
ones in
down
there.
for another
No,
one.
it's from Jerry Seinfeld.
Are you doing
But
another one of these?
No, but it was a lot of fun. I might go back next year, for sure.
I'd like to do a panel, maybe a dating one, XDS.
You could have
Just
done. You could have joined
Like a
me.
real dating one, though. That's what you want to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to get people
How
together.
to make cocktails for your
well,
lover.
hold up.
Little
Does-
Cupid Jones.
Is speed dating something that would intrigue you
No.
or excite you in any way?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so. Like, what do I have to? I'm on a TV show where I talk about video games. How women don't
that's
like
exciting.
that. Maybe some women.
There's tons of women that would dig that.
Yeah.
Listen,
They wouldn't dig you, but there's tons of
moving
women that would
right
dig that.
along.
Sorry. In a hypothetical sense, you should be
Buzz,
doing
buzz,
all
buzz,
right.
buzz, buzz,
but
buzz,
Why
buzz.
are you? I haven't insulted you.
no, I'm
once
just
today.
bugging you.
Come
Why?
on.
It's.
I haven't bugged you
it's,
once.
It's the role.
Anyway.
You've made fun of my BB-8, and
I
that
have.
hurt. That
That
was hurtful.
deserves-
That was hurtful.
By
all
the way,
right.
this is,
All right.
this is a new guy.
That's Rocket Boy.
So anyway, everybody, I went to Saskatoon this last weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
did.
Tell us about it.
And I saw the boys from Noodle Cake.
Mm-hmm.
I went over
wow.
there just for a minute. They gave me socks. I don't know if you can see there.
You
Socks.
gotta
It
lift
stinks
your
when you
feet.
roll that up.
You can see
Oh,
that.
you can. Okay, cool.
It
Doesn't
stinks a
stink.
little. Will you
Yeah.
roll it
I got
down?
little
Where
Noodle
are our
Cake
socks?
Oh,
Noodle cake.
yeah, I got.
Noodle
sorry.
cake.
Oh,
Where are our
Ryan
socks?
Halawati. Yes,
sorry,
I said your
Ryan,
name,
I banned you
Ryan.
out.
F
Now
you,
you're
noodle
called
cake.
out for not giving us gifts.
Yes.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, we should start reviewing their games with
3.
Three socks out of 10.
4.
No.
Zero socks out of 10.
2 pairs of socks out of 10.
Yeah.
No,
which is the
listen,
number of
I'm,
birthdays
I'm
Vic and I
really
didn't
proud
get.
of
Yeah.
them because they're, the most successful video game company in Saskatoon. Yes, there are others, so don't smirk. Don't smirk. Shut it down.
And Wood Chopping Games,
Are
is
they
that
big
there?
in Sweden too?
Okay, they're very successful.
No, they are very
and
successful. We
I'm
love them.
I'm super proud of them, and they
We
moved
love
this
them more
awesome
with fresh
space.
new socks.
I
though.
like socks too.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
And I enjoy wearing
Yeah.
socks. I'm wearing them now. They're not
But
noodle cake socks though.
no, they're not noodle cake socks. But I
Oh,
love
Marissa,
seeing
these
their
are just for you.
family.
Aw.
That was noodle cake.
Okay.
Terrible noodle
They're
cake
just,
impression.
I'm just proud of them because they moved into a new space and they're just really happy. And
because
How,
they're
how
rich
big
and
is the
really well.
Yeah, they must be very
So much money.
doing all right.
They're doing
Yeah?
they're doing all right.
Were
They
there,
really
was there
are.
a bunch of Audis and Mercedes and Lamborghinis parked in the
No, I
lot?
didn't see any of that. It's
No?
still Saskatoon. Like, you
Can't
need to be
tell them.
practical. You either have like a big truck or a van of some
Okay.
kind to drive around in Saskatoon or something with
You know
a lot
what,
of
Ryan
traction.
Holowati? These are yours for not giving us socks.
Oh, I thought those were our gifts. The
Nope,
acorns were
not
our
anymore.
gifts.
Vic
Okay.
rejected it. You rejected it. Now they're Ryan's
But
balls.
my family was really precious. They threw me a surprise Blue Jay themed birthday party, even though my
What?
birthday was last month. Yeah, they're so
That's so
precious,
cool.
and we had like Blue Jay. Everybody showed up in Blue Jay gear. I had no idea, and I had just worn my jersey because my mom was wearing her jersey,
Oh, because
and I'm
you
like,
were in
Mom,
Disneyland for
yeah,
your birthday all
so,
alone. Yeah.
Yeah, so I said,
Saddest
Mom,
story
like,
of all
this is-
time.
Yeah, so sad. Watching fireworks all
You're in
alone,
Disneyland all alone.
streaming down my face.
Totally
When-
hammered on your ass on martinis. Just all. Just,
I was just so
pissed
schmammered
drunk, yeah.
watching. Oh, and when the what is that, Tangled? You know
Yeah.
the song that they play in Tangled.
Yes.
That's really precious. It's about love.
Yeah.
And when the fireworks started going off, I was just like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
was it la
I'm
la
all
la
alone right now.
la la la
La, la,
right?
la,
something like that. Yeah, we can't sing because we'll get.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get.
So anyway, yes,
Content
but my family
ID.
was precious. Everybody kept showing up in Blue Jay gear, and my mom kept telling me that it wasn't a thing, and it was all just a big coincidence, but it wasn't. They planned it. They're
Wow.
so
So
precious.
cool.
Yeah, you're being facetious.
No,
That's
I'm not.
awesome.
We had a lot of charcuterie,
Right.
as per usual.
You have to say that like Sean Connery.
Charcuterie.
We had a lot of charcuterie.
charcuterie.
That's good.
Charcuterie.
I like it.
Yeah, so I had a great time in Saskatoon with my
Awesome.
fam. So shout out to Sasky, and I'm
right.
sorry, I brought you back coffee.
Marissa did bring me. It was
you know,
apparently it's the favorite place where noodle cake goes. So that's where
I'm
they
happy
get their
you said about you
inspiration to
put
make
it
their great games, and that's
Yeah.
why I drank some. Now I'm here. I'm inspired to deliver
Yeah.
a great podcast today.
You brought us acorns.
All from Saskatoon.
I
So
did.
maybe
Yeah.
one day we'll make it out to Saskatoon for something gaming related.
Yes.
There were a couple of other things that Blake brought up that I think we should talk about.
Oh,
okay?
we're going to talk about the Tom Cruise
Yes.
and Doug Liman project.
Yeah, Luna
I
Park.
Like this. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm very excited for this.
Doug Liman, and this is coming up in an episode where we
it doesn't
dissect. No, I don't think it has. So we dissect the reasons why we love Doug Liman, but I think we should talk about that a little bit right now.
Doug Liman is the greatest director ever.
He's one of the best, I think,
I
working
really
today.
do think he's the best. I really do. I love Swingers, and
And Go.
I
He's
love
amazing.
Go. Go is
And
such a great
Mr.
underrated-
and Mrs. Smith
What?
and The Bourne Identity, which I
I
think
never saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
that was fun.
Oh, I did.
That's where
I know Brad
Brangelina
Pitt and-
came
I
together.
know, whatever.
It was pretty fun. I kept falling asleep in the theater though when I saw that.
You
I
fall
was
asleep
also-
sometimes.
And all of the action sometimes it's
Oh,
just
can we
like
talk about movies?
yeah.
Not now, but we'll go through this list. And then
Yes,
we'll do
okay.
movies.
So Doug Liman, now we're starting to get to know who this guy is. I feel like he's been under the radar, just making great movie after great movie.
Which I'm okay with him just being under the radar.
yeah, but
Why do
now
I need...
now he's like buddies with Tom Cruise. Edge of Tomorrow is something everybody needs to see, and I hope everybody that's
Definitely.
listening to this,
buy a
watching
couple
it,
copies,
yeah, see
support it. Emily
battery is
Blunt,
totally
I love
dying on
you.
this
I'm
thing.
going to be in Toronto.
100%.
Yeah.
So-
Emily Blunt is going to be in Toronto.
No, but I'm saying I'm letting her know I'm running my hotel room of pleasure when I'm in Toronto.
Oh,
so
well,
Emily,
she's
she's
married
married, I know,
to
but who
John
knows how that's
Krasinski.
going so far. So
Right.
People,
she-
they're Hollywood. They get bored, you know.
Guys, I know.
But what's happening is that they're going to make a movie, and
But-
it's about a heist on the moon,
Sure.
right? I'm in. Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
Doug Liman,
Oh,
totally
I
sold.
love Tom
I
Cruise.
like Tom Cruise. He still looks so good, even though
does.
he's so old now.
We saw
Yeah.
a lot of his nipple in this last
Mission
movie that
Impossible.
was
Maybe
out,
they were
Mission
stunt
Impossible.
nipples. Maybe they weren't really
I think
his.
they're. Oh, speaking of stunt things.
No, we can't.
We
No, we'll
can't
talk.
about
Let's
it?
get through this stuff first. I want to talk about it too.
Why?
All right.
We'll talk
We
about
can't. We can't.
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about
go
it?
to it. We'll get to it.
So when you watch Edge of Tomorrow, watch the behind the scenes stuff
Well,
on Doug Liman.
This is your homework for the weekend.
Yeah.
Watch Swingers, watch Go, watch The Bourne Identity.
Yeah, but watch the making of Edge of
Watch,
Tomorrow because
Edge
it's
of Tomorrow.
fascinating. It's almost like because Doug Liman looks like he's a character in one of the Wes Anderson movies. He looks like he lives in the house with Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson and all those guys. He's just a very kooky cat.
I'm excited. I love Tom Cruise. What's next?
And Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
Jessica Jones.
so
Yeah.
this is a new Marvel TV show.
Yep.
It starts airing in
Netflix.
November, and it airs exclusively on Netflix.
Yep, this is
And
the pickup after
who's
Daredevil.
the lady playing?
Kristen Ritter.
Oh, Kristen Ritter. Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about this already.
Decisions as swingers is so boring.
Who did?
Whoa.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Kyle, try it again.
Well, yeah, try it again.
Try it again.
I hate the end when he's dancing with Heather Graham. It's just like so corny with that stupid music and their outfits. But anyway, Kyle, let's take it offline.
Yeah.
I forget where we were.
We're talking about Kristen Ritter and Jessica
Oh, yeah,
Jones.
I don't know anything about this, though.
We've just seen a really tiny, cursory sort of preview thing that doesn't give us anything.
Shows literally
Gives
nothing.
us
I
a
don't-
sense of the mood, though.
Oh,
and,
when you
and
went like this, I thought you thought they showed a boob.
I
They
do.
showed one boob of Jessica Jones.
it's
One
just
Jessica Jones
it's
boob.
just cool that we're getting a kind of a. It's almost like with Ant-Man, right? Like, why? How did an Ant-Man movie come together?
Yeah, but we don't even I don't know a lot about Jessica Jones.
Right.
And I feel like Scott knows more.
No, I don't. Just because my name's
was your
Jones.
ex-wife.
No, but as the meter on the saturation point for superheroes ticks a little further every time we get another one of these things, at some point we're gonna have too much, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be a day when we're gonna have to go the other way.
Well, here's the thing with the Marvel superheroes, especially because they were always created with lots of problems. They are just people. And I think because they're just people in the books, that's going to translate to the movies. And we're going to start to see, like with the Civil War, we're going to start to see the fallout and the ramifications of heroes in the world that they're creating. And the realism that we saw in Daredevil, I think we're going to start to see some really interesting color and storytelling wrapped around this stuff. And then there will be also the kind of cheesy, more traditional Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type stuff. But
Yeah.
I think we're going to really get to see a lot of nuanced, character-driven stuff with larger-than-life characters for sure. But I don't think that it will just be superheroes bouncing off of superheroes.
I
you
don't know. I
DC's
honestly
got
don't know.
DC's got the harder road to hoe because their superheroes are all too good to be true. They're
Right,
all
yeah.
so virtuous and so perfect all the time. And I
Except
think
Batman.
right, Batman, and that's the reason
the
why
only
he's the most
interesting one.
he's the most popular DC character.
And now he's got Ben Affleck attached to him,
And-
so he's doomed too.
Apparently it might be good.
And there's apparently a lot more Batman than Superman in the Batman versus Superman because
Superman's so boring.
they got to define this new Batman character.
That's
So
true.
I don't know if we're going to hit the saturation. I mean, a lot of these books have been around for 60, 70, 80 years and out every week with new issues.
Everything comes in, everything goes out.
I
Remember
think-
science fiction was really huge in the 50s?
It's never
40s.
been huger.
It was
Science fiction has
huge.
just been escalating. Planet of the Apes saved 20th
We went
Century
up,
Fox.
And then we went down, and now superheroes
2001:
are
A
here.
Space
No,
Odyssey showed all that
sci-fi
stuff. Star Wars changed everything and transformed.
Yeah.
Like science fiction is
I
not this weird
feel like
thing.
There's a time when a certain genre gets celebrated.
But superheroes aren't a genre.
Yes, they are.
They're just
Well,
a they're just
They're
a
a genre
platform.
kind of picture. And
No.
when you start watching movies
They are
like
genre
Ant-Man or the Captain American stuff, I know you loved Winter Soldier. I didn't care for it.
What's
but I
wrong
feel
with
like
you?
that's a longer
Yeah, what is
conversation.
wrong with you?
But I feel like I don't
I-
even know I'm having this
See,
conversation.
Guardians
I
of
don't
the
give a shit.
Galaxy, does that feel like a superhero movie?
Yes.
But it's a sci-fi movie.
But
And
it's a superhero movie.
it's-
It's a Marvel property filled with characters
Sure, it's got
who
the
came
brand
out of the books.
It's the brand and their comic books, but
I
are
know,
they
but that's the way
superheroes?
I view it through a comic book lens.
Is James Bond a superhero?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a character.
I mean,
I would say he's
that's
a superhero.
right. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think superheroes just mean, in the movie sense,
People
larger
who
than
can
life.
Fly, who
Is
have
Luke
incredible
Skywalker
strength.
a superhero?
No,
Is
he's
Darth
not
Vader a
superhero.
supervillain?
No.
But he has the Force.
They're
so-
human beings who got screwed up by the Force. They are.
screwed up by the
I
Force.
think just because they came from comic books doesn't marginalize them or put them in a like the public will be exhausted by
I know
them.
you love this stuff. I don't know what's going to happen to it. Jessica Jones character I've never heard of before. It's a new show on Netflix. I hope it's good, only because I love you.
Well, all of the stuff can just evolve with the tastes of the time as well. Just like the Batman show in the 60s was a different thing than the Tim Burton Batman, you know?
What
That's
other
true, yeah.
bits of news from Blake do we have?
That's
Somebody was talking crap about some movies.
Oh yeah, we're talking. You want to talk about movies or no?
yeah. Let's talk to us about the.
Well, there's a bunch of
the
movies
overnight.
that we had for this week, and you want to talk about the overnight, but the big movie. There are two big movies. No,
The Visit.
Visit was this week. Vic and I saw it. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to say anything more about
I
it.
think everybody knows that. Blake
What's
has
the
a
M.
quote
Night
about it.
Shyamalan?
He
What's the
says,
quote?
the truth is that M. Night Shyamalan's career has always been dead.
Well, you leaned over to me at one point and you said M. Night Shyamalan is our Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
And
right?
I never really got to ask you about that, so we
Well,
didn't talk about it.
just that I just see in some of the shots in The Visit, I heard Johnny Depp's, "That's a wrap. That's great. Print it. That's great. Let's go. Move on." I just got that sense of like, that was good enough.
Yeah.
Really? You're just going to stop with that and you're going to continue to the next
It's
scene?
pretty crappy.
Yeah,
you know?
do people know what The Visit is?
It's a new M. Night
Found
Shyamalan horror
footage.
movie. Found footage. Garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garb. I
But,
think
It
that
really
still would've
wears
been
on your
scary.
You
nerves.
know what else opens today?
It is
Everest.
It is scary in a couple
Everest
spots.
opens today. We can
Everest
talk about
opens
Everest.
today. We can't finally talk about it.
No, we can't talk about Everest.
Why can't?
Next week.
Next week.
It's open today though.
No. Just it opens earlier in IMAX than it does.
Why
And
can't
like
our
I've
review?
seen
Like reviews are out everywhere, and we're gonna sit on. Okay, fine.
Well, you need to watch our review because Scott and I get into it. I don't think we've had a fight like that on
I
camera.
know. I don't. I never wanted to fight with you.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I didn't think we would ever come to that, and then I just couldn't. I don't even know what you were talking about. You didn't know what I was talking about either. But let's talk about the
I knew
overnight.
what you were trying to say, but yeah.
Not trying to say, saying with a lot of conviction. Anyway, we'll let the tape speak for itself.
Roll it.
No, we're not prepared to roll tape on this show.
I
That
don't
would just
know. The lights
that
may
would,
go out
that
any
would
second.
ground everything to a screeching halt. Yes, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
here.
Well, we saw the overnight.
Nice. And this is the second film that we've seen from Patrick Bryce. He directed Creep. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Starred our old
Yes.
friend Mark Duplass.
Yeah, so the
I'm a big
Duplass
fan of
brothers-
Patrick Bryce.
Yeah, they have
He's
a
had two
relation.
great movies so far this year. Very small movies in both cases. Very cheap, low-budget movies. But I felt like a lot of heart and a lot more emotion than I ever expected on both fronts. I mean, I thought about this a little bit more. Both things, Creep and The Overnight, they feel very much like TV episodes, or they feel almost like stage plays because they take place in very limited environments, and you feel like you could watch a stage version of The Overnight, especially maybe Creep less
Yes,
so.
actually, that's a really interesting point. You're
Yeah,
right.
and
do
so
feel like you can watch
but
it
I
on
feel
stage.
like I don't know why I'm going to the movies and I'm not blown away by the the particle effects of Ant-Man and all this stuff. Like, maybe I just want TV episodes. Maybe that's all I want. Maybe that's all, or I want things that feel
No, you-
genuine and honest and feel real.
Yeah, but you also enjoy things that are unique, and I feel like this guy is bringing.
Yeah,
something
both
different and
things
unique
felt
to the
very
table.
unique, felt very inventive, and I felt like myself rooting for him every
For
step of the
sure.
way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this movie that we just saw, The Overnight, is just very surprising.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
two couples.
It's two couples, and they just basically spend, an evening
spend a night together, yeah.
But it's always very awkward. Like, you never really know where it's gonna go. You have an idea of where it's gonna go, but you're not quite sure if it's gonna happen or when it's gonna happen. And it just, everything felt so real about it. Like, you felt that could. I feel like this actually might have happened to one of the people.
It's happened
that
to
created-
everybody. Like,
Okay,
everybody's
it
been in
happens-
this. Like,
it
honestly,
happens to
where did you grow up?
everybody.
Saskatoon?
Yeah, I did grow up in
Oh, I
Saskatoon.
did.
Can
What's
can I
happened
ask
to
you guys-
everybody?
Okay, can
What's
we just
what's
talk about
happened to
that?
There's
everybody?
been a moment where swinging is an option.
Right.
It
So-
happened.
That
Have you
has
guys
not
ever
happened to
approached-
everybody.
Well,
So you,
It's
it's
not-
not
it's
happening
happened
to
to
you.
my wife and I have never. That's
okay,
never
then maybe
happened.
it didn't. But for sure, when you were younger and single, there were opportunities.
No, this actually did happen to me.
I know for sure. And me too. I recently got invited to a swinging party. Like, it happens. I don't need these things. I need to get home and talk about a 5-year plan with my cats. I've got things to do. So
No, but
it does happen. This is the world we live in. Everybody's
Yeah.
bored. Everybody's cheating on everybody. Marriages don't last. Everything falls apart. Well, people get together and they just make whatever good thing they can make from the night, and so that's what happens.
Right, but I feel like this is a good lesson.
Sounded
for
like a
people
Tom
that-
Waits song.
I feel like this is a good lesson for people that maybe if they want to dabble in this is a lesson on maybe
You're
not.
so proud that somebody asked you and
I'm
your
not
boyfriend
proud.
into a
I'm
sexual.
not proud. I'm saying don't do that.
This is the second time you brought it up, though.
No, I brought it up in our review, and
Yes,
bringing it up now
and
because we're
so
talking
this is
about
the
the
second
movie.
time.
Wait, it came up naturally. I didn't just bring it up out of nowhere.
All right.
Anyways,
Jesus.
so
You were
It's
once
be-
invited to a
it's
threesome.
because Scott gets invited to swinging parties all the time.
Everybody does.
No.
Yes,
and
they
you
do.
brought this up with me
If
several
you're
times now.
single or if you're part of a couple and people just are pulling you towards them, doing whatever they can. If that they want to exercise whatever they have inside them.
Okay.
They want to find people to connect with.
So because you've been in those situations.
I feel like everybody has. Like, I'm not going to say that's never happened to me. It's happened to me a couple times. I've never gone through with it.
Oh, a couple times.
For sure. Like, I just think it's part of life. You know?
Yeah,
I figured
right.
because you were a hippie kid growing up, you were invited to all kinds of weird things.
Nope.
Okay.
No, but I think this is more a thing now. Like people are a little more.
I feel like it's always been a
polyamorous now.
thing.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe my generation was a little more prudy.
I think the movie is worth seeing. I think it's
Definitely,
interesting.
yeah.
We talked about it in the review. There's two dongs. You see two men's
you
dongs
see
in there.
two people, but we think that they're not real.
For
They
sure,
can't
they're
be
not real.
They
One
can't be
cannot be real. And actually, both of
They
them
both
can't be
can't
real.
be real, no.
One of them looks like a button on a doll's blouse.
real. You always see that's what yours looks like.
I know it is.
Oh, aw, so precious.
So that's the overnight.
Yeah, the overnight. I suggest
I
watching.
can't
it.
believe
You
we
can
can't talk
download
about
it.
the
It's
Everest,
video
though.
on demand.
I thought for sure
I
we would
feel
talk
like we
about it
can
today.
talk about Everest.
No, Blake
But-
says no.
Okay. Blake
Yeah, it
is
comes out
giving us
next
a
week.
head shake. Okay, fine, whatever. It's cool. But Vic, you and I like. How are we gonna do Vic's Basement next week? Number one. Number two. I really want to review Animal Crossing.
Yeah. We'll make that happen.
You didn't notice that on your list that you were looking at earlier.
No, Animal Crossing is coming on the 20th.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
the 15th. We were
yeah,
focusing.
no. Just it's in the calendar.
Yeah.
Got it.
We've had review teams sort of circle that one as it could leave Vancouver, but it ain't going to leave Vancouver.
Well, just because we're gonna be away, and if I don't get it, no, it's coming on
But
the
it's
25th.
it's a 3DS game, right?
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Okay,
It'll be
guys,
all right.
listen.
Want it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something, and are we gonna wrap it up? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, listen, I have been obsessed with this machine lately.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Nintendo
Oh,
3DS.
really?
This is the newest version.
Yep.
I've said this before on the show. I take this on every trip I go on, and I never play it. And you know what game I'm playing? A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
And
Link Between
I
Two
am,
Worlds, yeah.
Like, I can't stop. I don't know what's going on, but I'm opening it in idle moments, and I haven't really been.
It's the game
this
you are
into-
playing when you're not playing.
I haven't
You're
really been
thinking about it all the time.
into a game like this, and I'm so grateful. And I feel like I needed a Zelda moment. I feel
Yeah.
like I needed it. It's been not since that Skyward Sword, I don't think.
Yeah.
That I just really feel the gravity of this, and it's even hard for me to have it here because as soon as this stream is done,
Yeah.
I have like 3 more dungeons to go, and I feel like the dungeons are perfect. They're not too big.
They're
They're
amazing,
not too
yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah.
They're pretty puzzling, and you just have to be creative, and you have to use I fought a guy last night, and you know this for sure, but he had a big shield, and I didn't know what to do with him, and I just sort of warped onto his shield, and he pulled the shield away to look at me, and I jumped off and hit him in the butt.
It's
Nice.
it's
And then I won.
it's so artistic in every sense of the word, right? Like they
It's
just
so
did an
fun.
amazing
And I just
job.
feel like it's not even really that it's a great Zelda game. It's just that this is what I need in this moment.
It's a great Zelda
All right,
game,
just
though.
relax.
And
I'm not making the hyperbolic
No,
statement.
but one
I'm
of-
saying for me personally,
yes,
this is the right time for this game.
the reason why it works so well too is because it plays with your nostalgic remembrance of the 16-bit stuff in a wonderful way. It reinvents all of that stuff.
I'm just trying to say something personal,
Yes.
and you are making
No,
more
but
kind
it's
of
personal for me
general-
too.
Well,
As
then
I'm
say
playing it,
personal things.
as I was playing it, I was thinking back to beating the Super Nintendo game and just loving every
I'm
and
only
couldn't
thinking about
stop
this.
playing that.
I
And I couldn't stop playing
Holy
that.
crap! Am I into this though? And I love being into it. I also recently had a friend who went through a tough time, and I bought him a PlayStation 4, and I bought him Bloodborne. Now I have a friend playing Bloodborne. So I hear we talk about that. We talked about it this morning. We talked about it last night. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And
They like to pretend like they don't, but they do.
I don't pretend. I'm saying there are very few games that are as exciting as these games are for me this year.
Right.
These are pretty exciting moments.
Can we talk about something that I feel is important that we should bring up today, and something that I just feel like makes me sad when I think about? But
What?
I love you a lot, and I know that you
Oh
went
no!
through
Don't do this.
Well,
No,
it's 9/11.
no, I don't want
We
to
need
talk
to
about
say-
it. Jesus
right, yeah, it
Christ,
is.
Who cares?
No, but you're here, and
Never
we're so
forget.
happy
Why
that
can't
you're
we
here.
forget? Let's just forget.
That's
it was
right,
A
it is
shitty day.
9/11.
Who gives a shit? Jesus Christ.
What do you mean? A lot of people give a
Yeah,
shit.
but why? What are we gonna
And
do?
you survived it, and I'm just happy.
I didn't survive it. I was like 30 blocks north of the towers. Like, it
Okay,
doesn't
well,
matter.
you were
I wasn't
there.
like on the site where it exploded and there was concrete everywhere.
Okay.
I don't know why
the,
we need to hang
The
on
whole
to
city
this.
went through that
But if
altogether.
we hang on to
Yeah.
this,
No,
we
but I
should
mean, I'm looking at
remember.
Facebook. I'm just like, all these assholes. Nobody was fucking there. Like, who
You were
cares? Like,
there. We
everybody's. I know, but why do we need to keep celebrating this? Like,
We're
why
not-
don't we have a moment
It's
and move on?
It was our Pearl Harbor, man. You
Doesn't-
know, and
but-
Pearl Harbor is something
but
that we remember forever. And
But
it's
we don't. Pearl Harbor's just a day off now, and I feel like we just need to get. We need to get 9/11 into that category where it's just a day. It's just another day. Like, we need to get there. It's just a holiday. Like, we
No,
just
man.
forget. Like, who cares?
no way.
Why are we hanging on to this?
Because we didn't know that attack. You know, there was no sort of war that was so in our consciousness that we kind of knew who was attacking us and what was going on. So in that moment, the whole world was wondering what the hell was going on. And it wasn't just in New York; it was in Washington as well. You know, and it was, everybody that was cowered around television sets and radio and the internet, wondering what the hell was going on. I'm sure in Toronto was freaky as hell. I'm sure that
I was in London at the time.
Were you?
And we couldn't fly.
Right.
They just grounded all the planes everywhere. So yeah.
I don't want to hear about it. Like,
Okay.
I don't care. Like, I don't want
I'm
to
sorry.
talk about
I
it.
just wanted to reach out to you as a friend.
I know you
Yeah.
guys feel sad and blah
I'm-
blah blah.
You can only be
but
personal on Scott Jones's personal.
life and not
Yes.
when we're recording. Okay,
It's on
sorry.
his
No,
terms.
I'm just-
When he's personal,
I
it's
felt
cool.
this way all day. I don't want to talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk about it. Everyone knows what happened. Everyone has their own memories. It's
Well,
like,
I have nothing freaky happened to me, but
no, nothing
but
happened to any of us.
Julie Stouffer, who used to be on the show, had a seat on one of those planes, and she at the last minute decided not to go on the flight.
Just because?
Yeah, she was fighting with her boyfriend at the time and decided not to take the trip, and
and then they got married and lived happily ever after.
it saved her life. Which
Did they
is,
get married?
I don't know if it was her current guy. I'm not sure, but that is, I'm sure she doesn't like to talk about all that stuff all too much. I've had people contact me to interview her about that stuff, and
Wow.
but yeah, that's
Holy
that's
crap.
Yeah, for sure.
incredible.
I could sit around feeling sorry for myself, or I could talk about it. But it's like, why? Why do I want to do that?
It's not about that, man. It's
But who
about
ca- like,
it's
I
about
don't- I have nothing to say about it. I have no more to say about it. It was a wretched time, but it's back there.
And
I
it-
didn't die. None of my friends died.
it was a real time,
Yeah, it's just like,
it's cathartic to talk about it. It's cathartic to remember and to
You two
let
are
it
very
out.
emotional people.
huh?
Yeah, we are.
Very emotional people, both
You're
of you.
emotional.
It changed the world, man. It changed the world. It was
It was a long time ago.
it was-
like it was almost 15 years ago now.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, let's move on.
No. I'm going to bring it up next 9/11.
All right,
just so
fuck
know.
you. All right.
To talk to you about it.
You're
real
awesome.
time. But Vic and I won't be here next week. Well, we all won't be here next week. Or will you?
Nope.
I'm not gonna
No?
be here. We gotta sort this out. Sort
Okay.
it out.
We'll do something. We're going to be in London, so let's do it from London. It
Right.
probably won't be a live thing because doing a live thing on the road is incredibly tough.
Well,
As
we're
we
having
found out
issues.
at
Yeah.
We're
E3.
having, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Unless
why
we
it can't just be a phone and a thing.
Yeah, unless we
we
do
can
that.
Periscope.
Yeah, unless we do, we might Periscope it. There's other ways to stream. So maybe we'll find another way to stream, or we'll record something and put it up, which might be the way that we do it next week.
Periscope our way through London.
Yeah.
What might be happening?
Yeah. Okay. So we do have a weekend before we take off. What are you going to be playing?
Oh, well, I'm going to play. Can I talk about NHL?
Yeah.
We can't talk about it, but NHL is a lot of fun.
Yes. It's very hard to put down NHL.
Yeah, so that's happening. Also, I think that we're going to be reviewing FIFA possibly,
Mhm.
so we'll be playing that.
Little FIFA.
A lot of sports
awesome.
action.
Yeah.
Also, the Blue Jays are playing a doubleheader on Saturday, so that's what I'm going to be.
shit.
So 10 hours is taken up right there. Okay, Mr. Jones, what are you going to be playing? Bloodborne.
and
and Zelda.
Link Between Worlds, guys. And also,
And Vic? Oh,
that's all, guys.
okay, and Vic.
hockey, soccer, and more Metal
Baseball.
Gear.
Let's like just.
Oh, Metal
No.
Gear, you
Make
got to
it-
finish that.
More Metal
Yeah,
Gear, yes.
I got to finish that too.
Yes, more Metal Gear. Incredible game. And
Thank you so much for watching and listening and bearing with us through
Oh
our
my God, it's
technical
4
issues.
o'clock, guys.
yeah,
I know. Witcher. Somebody's playing Witcher. That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, Witcher's awesome.
all right.
Okay. Thank you so much. We will try to reach out to you next week, if not the week after that.
We'll get a show to you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Stitcher! Bye. Vic's Basement would like to thank its sponsors, EB Games, Nintendo, Xbox, and Gameloft, makers of Dragon Mania Legends, which you can play for free right now.